Okay, I've got a screen recording going, and Valentina and Misa, thank you for your questions in regards to the post on the Mills reading. Back when I was building this course, Dr. Ludio and I had collaborated on this, and we had created a couple of courses for the summer sessions, and so some of that former iTunes U material was left on the posts, and I went back and edited everything that I saw, but I missed a few things. So any references to quizzes, don't worry about it. There are no quizzes, okay? And secondly, the syllabus is always the operating instrument as far as if you have questions about what you're supposed to be doing and what time things are due and so forth. The syllabus should so far concur with the wiki page for our instructions on when things are due. Samantha had also brought up a question too about this consideration of what code of ethics you should start concerning yourself with. The standards and codes of ethics that we're talking about here are those that are related to your field of study. If you're an international business person or a fashion major or what have you, whatever industry that you're going into, whether it's the bar, there'll always be a code of ethics that is associated with that particular industry. So the final research project is going to ask you to, using that code of ethics in a particular field, investigate and explore a ethical conundrum as the focus of your research project. So you'll be asking sort of, how do I resolve these kinds of difficulties that might arise in a field or a major of my own study, particularly after I've graduated or even if I'm in that field right now. This is what we're asking you to do, to use that code of ethics, to use the Marcula ethics site and its 5 frames of ethical frameworks that give us a way of describing those ethical dilemmas from a particular ethical perspective, one or more of which you tend to already adopt as your own. So I wanted to thank everyone for their questions, and I wanted to bring it to everyone's attention because, as I assured some of the authors, either Valentina or Samantha or Misa, that if you had a question, then there were probably at least 2 or 3 other students who also had the same question. I think everything is pretty clear. I wanted to bring to your attention also the exemplary student page, which I'm posting up here. And I wanted to give a shout out to Feng Qian for the first 2 wiki assignments. I didn't comment on the first one because it's a very personal perspective, and that your reaction and response to that was sort of from your own point of view. The second, I wanted to bring to your attention the writings that really responded to the prompts thoroughly and fully, and that's the only word of caution I would bring to you, is that in some cases students are not answering all of the questions in the prompts, and each one of those questions asks you to push into a slightly different area, and they are intended to direct you towards the kinds of questions that I expect you to be responding to in the research projects. And so I really encourage you to respond to the prompts for each week by responding to each one of the questions using the standard framework that's already set up underneath the readings and instruction. And so I wanted to give a shout out to this response, and so I will continue adding these exemplary responses throughout the weeks of the course, and I can try to model your responses against the another location where you can find the 5 sources of ethical standards underneath the reader's instructions. But I also posted it up underneath your iTunes U site too, up at the very top. It had been buried in I think in the middle or the bottom of this long list of instructions. So I wanted to bring those to your attention. And so once again, thank you for all your work that you're doing. This is week 3, November 7th. Wikis 3 and 4 will be due. And next week I'll begin scoring those and posting up your first grades for the 1 and 2, all right? So let me know. We've also got for, let's see, here we go. Readings due, exemplary. All right. 3 and 4, the Aristotle and the Kant's, as you can see. Here we are. So wikis 3 and 4 are due by November 7th. Next week, the Mills and your ethics code from industry are due. And so we'll begin heading towards the end of the course. So start thinking about your research topics. Thanks very much.